This reading is specifically directed towards those who are creatives, entrepreneurs, those who walk a very non-traditional and unconventional path. So I'll just put that out there right away, that this reading here is intention-led. I'm picking up on a lot of creative energy here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the general energy overall, kind of like we did last week. And then we're going to jump into the tarot. The first thing I want to mention is the snake here. This came out for a pick a card reading I did earlier today. So if this resonates with you, you may want to go and check out that reading. But this is the snake card and it's connected to earth energy. So you may be an earth sign or you may just be connecting to earth energy at this time or displaying those qualities. The symbol on this card is the Ouroboros, and the Ouroboros is a snake that is consuming its own tail. So it represents the cycle of life, cycle of death and rebirth, and cycles that we get caught up in energetically and physically. And inside is this matrix. This card is representative of your creative potential. So I'm connecting to those who have a lot of creative potential. Maybe you haven't realized that potential yet, or maybe you are working towards realizing that potential. Maybe you have something and you're working towards that. The snake is also a sacred spiritual symbol, so you could have awakened to something recently, like in the last 2 years, that have changed the course or the direction of your life and the perspective in which you see your life and yourself, okay? So that may be influencing your pursuits right now, or the decision to create your own business or to do more with your creative skills, I'm seeing, okay? You could also be somebody with very specific spiritual gifts. So you could work with energy, or you could be a spell worker, or you could be a coach or something along these lines. And we also have the chalice here, and the chalice is often used in spell work to hold some sort of liquid that will be used for the ritual or the intention work. Chalices also represent the emotions. They represent a constant state of change. I feel like this chalice is holding something very important to you right now. You want to be careful not to spill whatever is inside this chalice, okay? Whatever you are holding. This holds your dreams and your emotions and your wishes, okay? We also have the mortar and pestle. So this is about taking the ingredients and building something, okay? So you are putting the ingredients inside. You already have the ingredients, and now you are actively crafting and making something out of them. This is alchemy. This is you transmuting and transforming something into tangible reality, okay? This could be an idea, something that you've been planning or working towards for a while, and underneath we had Merlin. Yep, underneath we had Merlin. So you are very magical, and you are manifesting. We also had defiance here, so I feel like there is something... I feel like in some cases the odds are against you. Like you have these challenges and these responsibilities that are challenging this path you're trying to walk, and yet you're pushing against all of that. So I feel like you have this strength, this resilience that you have built over time, and you are very sure about what you want and what you want to work towards, and you are ready to take action towards that and create boundaries with anything that tries to pull you away from that path. I feel like you are very protective of your path at this time. You're very protective of your ideas, of your emotions. You are actively breaking a cycle. So in the past, you may have started and stopped many things. You may have started something and you had a lot of motivation in the beginning, but then you would put it aside for some reason. Maybe it was self-doubt. Maybe it wasn't moving as fast as you wanted it to. But now you are holding this idea very close to your heart. It's very sacred to you. You're not willing to give it away or put it down anymore. So you have this defiance, not just with the external world, but with yourself, and specifically your past self. You're not willing to get stuck in the same cycles as the past. You want to do something differently. You want a different outcome, and that's what you're working towards. Okay, the mortar and pestle is you actively transmuting and transforming something. So I feel like it's potentially these doubts or whatever you struggled with in the past, you are transforming that into motivation, and you're okay with not knowing. You're okay with not knowing the result. Just be careful not to allow your emotions to take control of the situation, because in the past I feel like you may have been very susceptible to reacting to the emotions that would come up around starting something, and your emotions were probably the cause of not continuing, and this could have to do with your thoughts. So also be careful of your thoughts. So if you had doubts or shame or whatever feelings you were feeling or whatever thoughts you were thinking, The emotions and the thoughts work together, okay? They create your reality. They influence your behavior. So that is what you got to be careful of. What you're perceiving will be what you manifest, okay? Okay, we're going to get into the tarot now, and just before we jump into the tarot, I want to say that there will be an extended on this reading. The extended will be on Patreon, and also there will be an exclusive Patreon pick a card reading. You can find everything in the description below. Okay, we're going to move on now to the tarot. All right, so let's see what the situation is for you right now. For my creatives and entrepreneurs, there's a handful of you in this group on this channel who are on very non-traditional, unconventional paths. And I know that some of you are creatives yourself, or you're tarot readers, and you're entrepreneurs, and you're musicians and creatives. So I'm trying to honor you. I usually go intuitively with whatever comes out, but sometimes I like to direct the intention of the reading. We've got the Ten of Cups, my dear. The sun is peeking through the clouds. Not just peeking through the clouds, the sun is illuminating through the clouds. The Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment. You have something. You're either doing something right now, or you have an idea that feels very, very fulfilling to you. And I feel like some of you have already seen some sort of win or some sort of accomplishment from your efforts. If it's not the case, then you're just enjoying the process. You're enjoying the process of building a life that has meaning and purpose for you, that feels emotionally fulfilling. I'm also specifically looking at this light. It looks like a very large raven. So I feel like there is something to do with your voice or your self-expression that is meant to go further into the world than just for yourself. So if you are someone who has very unique gifts or has been walking a very unique path or feel called to do something else, I feel like you should explore that more, because I feel like you're meant to express something out into the world that is very important for the world to hear. It's very healing. You have something that is very healing or inspiring. This is about creating your creative matrix, seen in the snake here. The Ouroboros is wrapping around this creative matrix. Your matrix is the manifestation of what you are creating, what you focus on, okay? That's how you manifest. You direct your attention and you direct your focus onto one thing, and you pour everything into that one thing and you nurture it, and you have strict boundaries with everything else. And it's very hard not to manifest something out of doing that, just doing that alone. What you focus on grows. And I feel like you are meant to fly. You are meant to spread your wings and fly. I don't know if I'm speaking to someone right now who has already experienced some of this type of success or already speaks to a very large crowd, but I'm getting this type of energy here. You were meant to do something like this. So maybe you have a platform, or maybe you should be on a platform. Let's see what the challenge, Let's see what the challenge or the blockage is. The challenge or the blockage. So I feel like there are opportunities that you're not necessarily acting on, or there are opportunities that are trying to come towards you. Maybe you're giving it some pushback for some reason, or maybe you're not seeing it yet. I also feel like this path is going to require you to take action, okay? You need to take action towards what it is that you want. The Knight of Wands usually represents action, especially inspired action, but I'm feeling that strongly from the Knight of Swords here. This is about action through your own personal truth, okay? You feel inspired to act because it's very close to your values, it's very close to your heart, it's very close to your truth, your own personal truth, kind of life that you want to live and the kind of life that you want to build. This is about the version of you that you want the world to perceive. It's genuine, and you want the world to perceive you in that genuine way. So this is also about acting in a way that is genuine to the version of you that you want to express into the world. So embody that archetype. If you're currently on the path and you're trying to get to a certain point of abundance or stability for yourself, or a certain point of success that you determine as success on your path. Embody that now. Act like you already have that. How would that person in the future that you want to be walking this specific path, how would they act and behave? How would they look? So I feel like this is about embodying that. I feel like there may be a little bit of resistance from you at this time for some reason, but there are opportunities here attached to this. You need to get very, very clear on what it is that you want to do and what you want to focus on. You need to focus your energy. I'm hearing that very strongly. Okay, this may require you to miss out on things that you enjoy doing every once in a while, okay? To make this a reality, but it will be worth it if you do, because this is long-term emotional fulfillment, okay? We're going to look at what you don't see. It's the Eight of Wands, but it's in reverse, and the Eight of Wands represent movement, opportunities, actions, and messages coming towards you. But it's in reverse, so I feel like that has halted for some reason. Maybe it has to do with this Knight of Swords that is currently blocking you. Because whatever messages, whatever you are waiting for is not coming in just yet. It's not ready to come in yet. Okay, I feel like you may have to take some action to get this energy moving. I feel like that's the problem here. There may be too much planning and too much ideation. I mean, you are meant for this. You have the Ten of Cups. You're feeling very good about something. And I don't mean just like pleasure. I don't mean like you're just feeling a lot of pleasure. I mean, you're feeling something inside of you. It's feeling very fulfilled, and you don't need some sort of reward or result to feel that. You feel that just from making the choice to go in a direction or walk a path that is more aligned with you and who you are. Okay, that's what it's about. We've had something that ended in the past, okay? Something ended in the past that may have been a catalyst for this growth and this new path of yours. This is energy alchemy. This is why the chalice is here. I feel like you've taken all of your emotions. This is the thing about energy alchemy. Happiness and anger can be on like the same type of spectrum, or happiness and sadness, I should say. Those are like the opposites, but they're on the same spectrum. So I feel like you've taken some sort of sadness, some sort of ending, and you've transmuted it into something that is beneficial to you, something that you really want, something that makes you happy. And this chalice is protected, okay? You're very protected. Your path is protected. So whatever it is you want to manifest, it is yours. It is a protected path. But I sense that something that ended in the past was the catalyst for this change. And that's what's in this chalice. It makes me think of the Temperance card. You know, moving the water back and forth between the two chalices. I get that feeling from you. I feel like you have learned to do this really well. I feel like it also has something to do with this defiance energy. You have learned how to be defiant in a way that is not necessarily cruel and chaotic, but in a way that honors you and respects you and honors your path and your differences. It's like you've embraced your uniqueness. You've accepted it, and you've stopped listening to those who just try to push their own ideals or their own values or what they think you should be doing onto you. You don't allow that anymore. You're over that. You want to express yourself. You want to be who you are. And you have so much to give and so much to offer and beauty to add into this world. And here we've got the Ace of Cups. So a lot of this is connected to, we have two chalices here. A lot of this is connected to your emotions. It's connected to the heart space. So this is something that is very close to your heart, and you have a chance at a new emotionally fulfilling life and path. So if you're wondering to yourself, should I do this? Should I take this risk? Is this really for me? Then this is your confirmation to keep going, okay? Keep going, keep expressing yourself, keep working on your art, keep building your business. Consistently move towards it, but don't focus on the end result. There's a strong message here about this. Focus on the process, okay? Learn a little bit more each day. Try different things, experiment. Sometimes it's all about trial and error. You know, I've been doing this YouTube channel now for a while and slowly growing. And you know, when you stop focusing on any results, or you stop focusing on the data and you stop obsessing over things like this, you just feel more relaxed and you feel more in touch with everything, and you're not worried about all of the trends or if you're doing all the right things. But it's also very important to learn new things and to, you know, listen to your audience and to care about what your audience wants and see what is resonating. And, you know, if you just pay attention to the feedback and how the world is responding to you, then that's how you'll know. Sometimes you just need a little bit of an adjustment. So this is also about using your intuition to feel out the environment as you're going. I also feel like this is going to open up a lot of doors for you, including relationships. I'm seeing I'm just getting this energy of powerful people around you, powerful people coming towards you, or even who may want to collaborate with you. Something like this. Okay, let's keep going. I'm just going to see near future. It's a lot of messengers here. I just feel like there's something to do with your voice. Speaking or singing or guiding. Could also be a spiritual guide. Shortly, I am going to look at someone in your energy as well. Just to see who is in your energy and who is influencing your path at this time, or maybe coming in for you. It doesn't have to be love, okay? And this is about waiting for your results to come in. You're waiting to see some sort of tangible result. This is also you, like you've done the work, you've put in the work, and now you're waiting to see something for it, okay? And there's a messenger in the sky, so this is something that is on its way to you. It is coming in for you. I feel like you just have to be patient. You have to keep doing what you're doing. Don't focus on the messenger coming in. The messenger will come in anyway. You know, whether you try or you don't try, or you focus on it or you don't, is irrelevant. It's still coming in. But there is something on its way to you. It could be an offer or an opportunity or a very specific message. But this is in the near future. So I feel like the messages have stopped for the time being, but in the near future, we see that coming in here, okay? I'm also seeing the importance of being optimistic and focusing on your cups, okay? Don't lose focus. I'm hearing that strongly. Don't lose focus. Don't let your emotions rule you, but instead use them as your strength. Use them as information to understand what is happening in your energy field. That one just went flying, okay? I got incense dust all over the place. Oh, and we've got the Two of Wands here as well. And this one came flying out. It actually smacked up against my incense jar. So here's the message here. Here's the manifestation right here. This is what is influencing your environment. There may be a little bit of indecision here. You may be hesitating. I am getting that feeling here, and I have been getting that feeling here, but I feel a hesitation that I feel like you need to clear. You need to get very decisive. So you need to make a choice. You need to stop hesitating and doubting the process. Sometimes you just have to make a decision. Oh my God, I keep smacking that. Hold on. Sometimes you have to make a decision and then plan later. I'm pretty sure this reading just feels so connected to the reading I did in the pick a card. So there may be something there for you. I don't know, but it's just all very connecting. It could be similar energy just leaking into both of the readings that I've done. But yeah, the near future is showing your manifestations coming in. But this is you hesitating still in your environment. And that could be why there is a little bit of a block on the movement at the moment. And you need to get very clear from the Knight of Swords here on the decision that you're going to make and work towards. So this is about clarity. Clarity, okay. You feel a little bit bound for some reason. Like you could be fantasizing too much. You could be fantasizing and imagining it too much, and you need to take a little bit more inspired action on your truth, on the decision that is going to fulfill you and motivate you, okay? Here we've got the Four of Wands. So I feel like this also has something to do with your home life. Your home life is influencing you. You may have a happy home life. This may be a choice that disrupts that, or it could disrupt the stability that you have built because maybe this is a completely different direction for you. Maybe you want to go in a completely different direction, or you want to do something you haven't done before. Maybe you've been keeping this close to your heart and you haven't even spoken about it to anybody yet. On the other side of things, I feel like this has the possibility to create a very fulfilling home life if it hasn't already, okay? So I feel like you're going to be feeling more fulfilled and happy at home in your environment because you're building an environment and a life that you align with, that you enjoy being in. And you love the idea of that too. So I feel like you could be fantasizing, manifesting through fantasizing and imagination as well. It is a good thing to romanticize your life. It's not a bad thing. Fantasy is not a bad thing. It depends on how you use it and the intent of it, okay? That makes a big difference. Intention is everything. I feel like there is something hidden here, or there is something unknown. Something that will reveal itself at some point. I feel like also you could be fearing the unknown. Like you can struggle with unpredictability, or you could struggle with change. That could be something that holds you back. Yeah, you could be a little bit more reserved or very protective of what you have. Feeling some sort of stubborn energy from you. Could have something to do with this defiance energy as well. We're just going to get the outcome now, and then we're going to briefly look at advice, and we'll go into that in more detail in the extended. Okay, so it looks like you're going to be very abundant. This is a possible income for income. I just said income, outcome, but income, possible income. So I feel like this is very much attached to your money and your wealth and your manifestation, your abundance. Okay, so this path that you're on is going to bring you a great deal of abundance. I see a very emotionally mature person, someone who is in control of their emotions and transmutes this energy into actual tangible reality, abundance, wealth. I get magician vibes here. This gives me magician vibes. All right, let's just get some advice, spirit advice. I feel like you're starting to balance your emotional with your practical skills. Don't be impulsive. Yeah. Take your time with things, okay? Be consistent. Don't be impulsive. Don't rush into anything. Think things through. If you were going to be one of these knights, the Knight of Swords or the Knight of Wands, be like the Knight of Swords, okay? Don't be overly passionate. I feel like you already have enough of that. I feel like you're transmuting that passion into like inspired truth, inspired action, knowing what it is that you want and your identity. I feel like I'm speaking to someone who has a very solid identity now. All right, we're going to go into the extended and we're going to look a little bit further. We're going to look at somebody in your energy and look at the advice in more detail and some of these details as well, okay? So you can join us over there. That will be in the description. If not, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.